Picture this: family making six figures, nice house, good neighborhood, two cars in the driveway, and every month they're watching their savings shrink, emergency fund going down, retirement contributions paused, credit cards creeping up. They know exactly what would fix it. Sell one of the cars, free up $700–800 a month, breathe again. But they won't do it, not because the math doesn't work, but because pulling into the driveway in something cheaper feels like admitting defeat, like broadcasting to the neighbors, "We couldn't keep up." Now picture this: guy making $40,000 a year, $3,000 in savings, just signed papers on a $60,000 truck. Payments equal $800 a month. He knows it's tight, he knows it's risky, but everyone at his job has a nice truck. And showing up in something cheaper, that would mean he's losing, that he's falling behind, that he's not where he should be. Two completely different people, two completely different income levels, same trap. This is called the Ratchet effect, and if you don't understand how it works, it will quietly drain your wealth for decades. Stay with me. This is Compound Your Cash, and I spend way too much time thinking about what grows wealth and what silently destroys it. And here's what I've learned: the behaviors that feel right are often the ones bleeding you dry. If you're someone who makes decent money but still feels broke at the end of the month, someone whose lifestyle keeps creeping up no matter how hard you work, or someone who's ever thought, "I'll cut back after this one purchase," hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you the invisible force that's sabotaging your wealth, and more importantly, how to escape it. But first, we need to challenge something you probably believe is true. Here's what most people think: if I earn more money, my financial stress will go down. Makes sense, right? Work harder, get promoted, make more, problem solved. But here's what the data actually shows. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, households earning over $150,000 are more likely to carry credit card debt than households earning under $50,000. The people making 3 times more are more stressed. And during the recent inflation surge, the U.S. savings rate dropped below 4%, the lowest it's been in decades. So income went up, but savings went down. And here's the question nobody's asking: why? Why does the person making $40,000 finance a truck they can't afford? Why does the six-figure family refuse to sell the SUV? Why do people keep upgrading even when they're drowning? The answer isn't what you think. Back in the 1940s, economist James Dusenberry discovered something that explains everything. People don't measure their standard of living by income. They measure it relative to other people. Your coworkers who just bought a boat, your neighbors who remodeled their kitchen, your Instagram feed full of vacation photos, your past self who had something better. And here's where it gets dangerous. That person making $40,000, they're not buying the truck because they need it. They may need another vehicle, just not a $60,000 one. They're buying it because everyone else at work has one, because not having it means they're falling behind. They're losing status. They're admitting they can't keep up. The six-figure family, they're not keeping the SUV because they love it. They're keeping it because selling it means admitting to themselves, to their neighbors, to everyone watching, that something changed, that they couldn't maintain it. And this is the exact moment where people stop choosing comfort or security and start choosing status. The truck isn't transportation. The SUV isn't convenience. The designer bag isn't fashion. It's proof that you belong, that you're winning, that you haven't fallen behind. But here's what makes this trap an issue. Once you're in it, most can't get out. And this works in both directions. It's not just people defending what they already have. It's broke people spending money they don't have to catch up to where they think they should be. The person making $40,000 who finances the $60,000 truck for 84 months, they're not just buying transportation, they're buying proof that they haven't fallen behind, that they are not broke, that they're keeping pace, that they're still in the game. The person with $3,000 in savings who spends $1,800 on a designer bag, not because they love fashion, but because carrying it means they've made it, even if they haven't. This is where it gets alarming. The ratchet doesn't just prevent you from going down, it pulls you up, even when you can't afford the climb. Because once you see yourself as someone who drives that truck, or carries that bag, or lives in that zip code, your brain refuses to accept a reality where you're not that person. So you'll finance it. You'll put it on credit. You'll work 3 jobs, not to get ahead, but to maintain the illusion that you're already there. And once you understand the mechanism behind this, you'll see it everywhere. Let me show you how this works. Consumption moves up easily, smoothly, almost invisibly, but it almost never moves down voluntarily. Think about an actual ratchet wrench. It clicks forward easily, but it has a mechanism that prevents backward movement. Your lifestyle works the same way. This is called the ratchet effect, and once you understand this, you can quickly identify it. If you've ever felt uncomfortable even thinking about downgrading, if the idea of a smaller apartment makes you feel like a failure, if switching to a budget phone feels embarrassing, that's not you being superficial. That's your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do. Because here's the part most people don't know. The human brain experiences losses about twice as powerfully as gains. This is called loss aversion, and it's hardwired into you. So selling the SUV doesn't feel neutral. It feels like failure, regression, exposure. Downgrading the truck doesn't feel like being smart. It feels like public admission that you weren't good enough, and your brain will do anything to avoid that feeling, even if it destroys you financially. Now let me show you what this actually costs, because most people never calculate this number. That person with the $60,000 truck on a $40,000 income. Let's say they're paying $800 a month. If they'd bought a $15,000 reliable vehicle instead and invested that $500 difference at 7% for 20 years, that's $257,000. The 6-figure family with the $1,100 SUV payment, had they downgraded to a $400 reliable vehicle, invested the $700 difference, that would be $360,000. But your brain never sees that number. It only sees the downgrade, the perceived loss, the embarrassment. And here's why earning more doesn't fix this. Because lifestyle inflation moves faster than income growth. You get a raise. You immediately justify a new expense. The gap stays the same or gets worse. So what do people do? Instead of downsizing, people defend with credit cards to bridge the gap, second jobs to cover the payments, longer hours to maintain appearances, not to build wealth, not to create freedom, but to protect the illusion that they're winning, that they're keeping up, that nothing's changed. And I see this constantly. People working themselves into the ground, not to get ahead, but to avoid going backward. You're trading decades of actual freedom for a temporary feeling of status. But here's what nobody tells you. There is a way out. The escape is something I call financial ego death, intentionally lowering visible status to protect invisible freedom. Driving the unimpressive car while your brokerage account grows, living below expectations while your net worth compounds, letting people underestimate you while you build real wealth quietly. And I won't lie to you. It costs you something emotionally. You'll feel the judgment. You'll hear the comments. What happened to them? I thought they were doing well. But here's what they don't see. While they're defending appearances, you're building optionality. While they're locked into payments, you're building margin. While they're working to maintain a lifestyle, you're working toward sovereignty. Here's what this looks like practically. First, identify your status expenses, the things you own to signal something to other people. Second, ask yourself honestly, would you buy it if no one could see it, if it gave you 0 social credit? If the answer is no, that's a status expense, and it's costing you freedom. Third, cap lifestyle upgrades permanently. Give yourself permission to earn more without spending more, because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Wealth isn't lifestyle. Lifestyle is expensive. Wealth is optionality, it's flexibility, it's margin, it's sovereignty, it's sleeping well at night. And the people who win long term, the people who actually build generational wealth, are willing to look smaller for a season so they can live larger for the rest of their lives. That's how you escape the Ratchet trap. Now, if this helped you see money differently, hit that subscribe button, because at CYC, we make sense. Till next time, grow your change, compound your cash, and double your stash. I'll see you in the next one.